Hey everyone, Trent Pepicelli from Innovative Marking Systems here. Got John Caverman here with me today. He's got a little grievance with people who don't clean their ink cups, but I've got an ink cup for him here to explain to us how to clean it and why it needs to be cleaned.
Yeah, problem we have a lot of times is people they'll call and say, hey, my ink cup's not doctoring correctly, and they don't understand why it's designed the way it is or how it's supposed to work. So with a Tosh ink cup, you get this little ridge in here, and you put the put this O-ring in here like this. Oop. And then you have a ceramic doctor ring, flat on one side, sharp on the other side. Obviously the sharp end goes down on the plate.
It is not that obvious based on some phone calls that I take on a daily basis.
This guy snaps on here. Like this. And this guy is designed with that O-ring in there to have some flex. This blade needs to float freely. Reason being, once you put this in the machine, there's a pin that comes down in here to the center of gravity in the cup. And when the cup moves on the plate or the plate moves under the cup, each time it changes direction, there's some inertial forces here that if this blade is not flexing or floating freely, the cup tends to pop a wheelie and it burps a little bit. You get some ink probably on the outside of the ring, and that can of course start building up on the plate. So it's important that this thing floats freely. For people that are using an ink that has a hardener in it, that means that at the end of the day, when you're finished printing, you need to take this ring off and thoroughly clean underneath. There's a little hole right here that you could put a flat edge screwdriver in there and gently just pry it loose, and then you can get the ring back off. And you need to remove the O-ring, clean that, clean the ring, make sure that this shoulder right here doesn't have any ink left on it, and that's just all there is to maintaining an ink cup.
Fantastic. How long does that O-ring typically last?
The O-ring will last a long time unless you break it.
Yeah.
It's once you put the ring back on here. A lot of times I like to use a little bit of Vaseline on the inside of the doctor ring. It slides on a little bit easier. You want to make sure you're putting the ring on evenly all the way around so you don't pinch that O-ring. They do swell a little bit sometimes from the solvent, so if you're changing over and using the cup right away again, it's a good thing to have a couple of O-rings so you can take the one out that had maybe swollen up a little bit from solvent, let it shrink back down to size, and switch them out.
Sometimes they're a little hard to get out of the groove, and I like to use just a broken off end of a tongue depressor to do it because the wooden piece is less likely to chew up the O-ring than a screwdriver. But remember, they're a couple bucks a piece, and rather than leaving it in there forever because it's glued in place and you can't get it out, it's best to clean everything up and make everything work, because the flatter and everything is in comparison to the plate, and also the more flexible everything is as it's doctoring, the more likely it is to doctor correctly. And the more cycles you get before you have to stop and clean stuff up. So that's it for today, folks. That's our standard cup, and have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.